Who do you recommend this test for?
There's a couple different facets and people that will do really well with this information. So if people have been trying to figure things out on their own and bouncing and they still have this chronic condition they can't figure out, or not even condition, but they just don't feel quite right and that they haven't really been able to figure it out, it's really great at guiding people that direction. Testing is really, really great for just as a motivational perspective too.
Yes.
We have this new data come an aspect to our lives these days. Oftentimes when we have something like a wearable, CGM, or we have our Whoops or things like that, where we're monitoring some of our health data, it helps us to just become aware and to be motivated to continue to doing the things that we know is good for our health. I think that's really good from a prevention standpoint. And I guess the third one is for any of our athletes, people who are doing any sort of endurance training where they're putting a lot of strain on their body and they're trying to get from that 90% to 99% or things like that. It's really great at being able to pick out some of those little details that really might just mean the difference in that 5%.
I have two more I want to piggyback on top of that. Mental health is such a big crisis in
Yeah.
our world today. And so the lack of some of these vitamins and amino acids are really important for mood. The other is chronic fatigue, or someone who's just fatigued, because we saw the Krebs cycle page. We saw these mitochondrial markers. We see that there's no energy being made here. So it also underscores, to Michael's point, data is compelling, right? When you see that you have these insufficiencies that can really explain some mental health issues or fatigue or optimal performance for an athlete. I mean, it's really compelling information. I would say everyone needs this.
Especially if you're taking supplements or are feeling confused about diet. It's like it will tell you which foods to emphasize and which not to. And if you're taking supplements, ultimately we're kind of throwing a shot in the dark if we don't have some direction of like what we actually need.